Is radiofrequency a safe and effective treatment to do at home? And is there really a risk of home use radiofrequency devices destroying facial fat and leaving your skin looking older than before you got started? If this is your first time here, I'm TJ and I'm a 40-something lover of all things skincare, the secrets behind beauty science, and an all-round nerd of how beauty devices and topicals get to work in the skin. In today's video, I'm going to be switching out my usual radiofrequency devices for this beauty right here, which is the Nebulyft R1. And together, we're going to take a closer look at what this is, how it works, how to use it, and what results you can expect to see from this compact home use radiofrequency device. So if you're new to the world of radiofrequency or energy-based skin treatments, to understand how this device or similar devices like the Nebulyft R1 work, it's a really good idea to understand the science and mechanisms behind radiofrequency, what it is and what it actually does. So in this section, we're going to do a quick dive into the science of radiofrequency. So radiofrequency uses electromagnetic waves to penetrate the skin's dermis layer, ultimately stimulating collagen production. And just in case you didn't already know, collagen is the key protein responsible for skin strength and elasticity. So during a radiofrequency treatment, the radiofrequency penetrates through the skin, which causes the cells within the skin to become excited. They kind of moving around, they're vibrating, they're bashing against each other, which is in turn generating heat within specific layers of the skin. And then what this is going to do is it's going to cause controlled denaturation of weak and damaged collagen fibers. Now this controlled damage triggers a healing response within the body. And basically what happens is that the body is going to flood the areas that you've treated with white blood cells, with fibroblasts. And then as those old collagen fibers start to unravel and be broken down by the body, fresh type 3 collagen, which is a pre-collagen, is laid down. And then over the following weeks and months, this type 3 collagen is then replaced with type 1 collagen. So ultimately, this is going to rejuvenate the skin. It's going to help reduce the visible appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, improve the overall skin texture, and also help to tighten up those areas where you don't want any laxity, such as in the jowls, the nasolabials, along the jawline, and on the neck. Okay, so now we've kind of skimmed over the science of radiofrequency and how it works within the body. The next step is to take a closer look at the technology and the specs wrapped up inside this. The Nebulyft R1 uses a patented nebula of gold electrodes, which deliver the RF energy with sub-millimeter accuracy. Real-time feedback from its 5-sensor technology is going to ensure that the treatment is tailored precisely to your own unique skin needs. You're going to be able to effortlessly cover more ground, meaning treatments are going to take a lot less than they do with many of the other radiofrequency devices on the market. Now the Nebulyft R1 operates at a consistent temperature of 42 degrees Celsius, which is 107.6 Fahrenheit. And this temperature has been optimized for maximum impact and effectiveness without causing any irritation or discomfort, which are things that any normal person is going to be looking for in a home use radiofrequency device. Because trust me, some of these devices are spicy. And if you've ever seen some of my first videos that I ever made, which use this radiofrequency machine right here, which by the way is an amazing device, but boy is this an aggressive device with a seriously bad attitude. The Nebulyft organic gel, which is produced organically in Los Angeles, enhances conductivity and comfort during the treatments. And for you topical skincare lovers out there like me, it also doubles up as an amazing skincare mask. And once you're done with the treatment, you don't need to remove the gel. Simply massage it into your skin and use it as a primer or a base for your sunscreen or your makeup or whatever you're going to apply over the top. And the housing, the shape and the overall size and weight of the Nebulyft R1 has been perfectly optimized to be super comfortable to hold, even if you've got issues with your hands such as arthritis or mobility issues. All of the buttons are within easy reach of the thumb and super simple to switch things up during a treatment without having to let go. And then obviously the 256 evenly spaced gold RF points guarantee that you get to enjoy a really even treatment without the risk of any unwanted hotspots within the skin. But for all of you tech spec nerds out there, here's that all important device information that you're going to want to know before you get to work with one of these. The majority of home use radio frequency skin tightening devices are manufactured and engineered with safety in mind, and the Nebulyft R1 is no exception to that rule. In fact, it takes safety to a whole new level. But from the questions that I get and that I see online, many of you guys out there are really worried about radio frequency obliterating your facial fat. And for good reason, because at the end of the day, having a healthy amount of facial fat in the face is definitely youth making and is something that ideally you want to be hanging on to for as long as possible. So are home use devices like the Nebulyft R1 going to cause facial fat loss? Well, the long and short of it is no. Basically, home use devices do not penetrate deep enough into the skin to reach into the adipose tissue. Now, adipose tissue is your fat cells, and if the heat isn't reaching into the fat cells, then it's not going to be destroying them. Also, the controlled heat output and depth levels is ensured that the heat is kept within the dermal layer, stimulating collagen without affecting or impacting the underlying fat layers. So this not only makes home use radio frequency machines and devices like this super safe for using at home, but they're also highly effective for regenerating and rejuvenating facial and neck skin. Now, moving away from home use radio frequency devices and into professional grade in-clinic devices such as Thermage, as Morpheus 8 and things like that, these pro machines obviously could pose some risk to facial fat because the heat output is going to be a lot more intense. The depths that they're able to reach can go a lot deeper and the risks just increase. But even with that said, it's not usually the machines or the devices that are at fault, but the operator or the individual performing the treatments not understanding how to actually perform a radio frequency treatment properly, or performing professional treatments on an individual who is not a good candidate for radio frequency in the first place. So regardless as to whether you're booking in for a professional radio frequency treatment or if you're going to be using a home use device like this, there are a couple of areas on the face and the body that you're going to want to avoid treating over. The first one, and the most important one, is in the center line of the neck, which is where your thyroid is. Now, the thyroid is basically one of your hormone production powerhouses. It's a butterfly-shaped organ in the middle of your neck right here. The reason you want to avoid using any kind of energy frequency over the top of it is that you don't want to cause damage to it. You don't want it to start malfunctioning or working the way it shouldn't. Because, as I mentioned, it's one of your hormone powerhouses. You mess around with your hormones, you can do a lot of damage to the rest of your body. So if you've got crepey skin or lines across your neck that you want to take care of, there are other treatments out there that you can use. But you can safely use radio frequency to the sides of the neck, under the chin and the jawline, around the jawline, over the parotid, over the masseter muscle, on your upper, mid and lower cheeks, on the forehead, around the mouth, on the nasolabials. The only other areas of the face that you kind of want to avoid using frequencies like radio frequency obviously is within the orbital rim. So you can feel your orbital rim, and directly above that you're going to have your lower eyelid area. You don't want the frequency penetrating here. This area is full of a lot of vasculature, there's nerves here. The skin is also pretty thin and delicate, so you kind of just want to avoid the whole eye area in general. Again, the upper eye area, if you want to treat the skin on the upper eye area without dropping into the orbital area itself, you can literally take 2 fingers, elevate the skin as high as you can, and then run the frequency with it facing up slightly and making sure that you're still on the bone. And then the last area really is just on the temples. Now, you can go on the temples on a low intensity. Again, there's a lot of vasculature here. There's a lot of superficial veins. I always think it's better to be safe than sorry, so don't do it. I mean, or do, because I can't tell you what to do. So before you get to work with the Nebulyft R1, you're going to want to make sure that your skin is well prepared, because well prepared skin gives you the best canvas possible for getting maximum results out of every treatment. And if you're going to spend the time to do a treatment, you're going to want to make sure that each one delivers. I mean, I know I do. So first things first, you're going to want to cleanse your skin to remove any makeup, any sunscreen, any oil, any residue, any grime, anything on your skin that's going to prevent the radio frequency energy from entering your skin properly. You're also going to want to apply a decent layer of conductive gel. Now, when it comes to conductive gels, the Nebulyft R1 includes not 1 but 2 tubes of that organic gel in the box. But obviously you can use any conductive gel that you want. You can use a water-based conductive gel, you can use a glycerin-based conductive gel, it could be a budget version, it could be an expensive version, it can contain other ingredients as long as it's not oil or alcohol. I mean, if all you've got to hand is intimate lube, even that is going to do the trick. But as the Nebulyft R1 comes with 2 tubes of their soothing botanical gel, which is completely organic, these are going to keep you going for at least a good couple of months. But yeah, no matter which conductive gel you choose to use, you're just going to want to apply a layer that's thick enough so that the frequency from the radio frequency device is able to penetrate into the skin and work its magic. So the Nebulyft R1 has been designed to be safely used every single day if you wanted to, and the treatment takes just 10 minutes. So I break the treatment areas down into 5 different zones. There is the forehead, there's the upper and mid cheeks, left and right. You've got the upper lip area and your nasolabial folds. You've got your lower lip area, your chin and your jawline. And then obviously you've got your neck, which is the sides of the neck, but most definitely not over your thyroid, your larynx, your voice box area. Basically, the center line, no treatment time, not even a little bit. Those necklines, we'll deal with them another time with a different treatment. Now, each of the areas on the face and the neck should be treated for 2 minutes. The device is going to beep and vibrate at 2 minutes so that you know that it's time to move on to the next zone. And when you're treating, you're always making sure the device is kept in contact with the skin and you're using it in really slow, even circular motions. So I'm going to whack on some of the soothing conductive gel. I'm not going to rub this in just yet when I am applying it to the forehead. I'm just going to apply it straight to the device tip. So I'd say that that is about the size of a small grape. Then to turn the device on, side button. To select your power level, you can push here. So you've got 5 intensity levels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For me, I am a radio frequency veteran. So I always go in at the highest levels because, you know, my skin is super used to it now. But if you're first starting out with radio frequency, it's a really good idea for the first couple of days to use level 1. Then move it up to a level 2, level 3, level 4 and level 5. Just as you kind of feel more comfortable and confident with the device. Okay, so I'm going to apply this straight to my forehead. And then already I can feel the heat generating. And I love how much surface area this is covering in one time. Normally I'm so used to having a much smaller device tip that means that I have to kind of really focus on each area of the face for 2 or 3 times as long to make sure that I'm getting a really effective even treatment. This is literally just covering my entire forehead as it swipes over. Okay, so it's beeped, it's 2 minutes, onto the cheek. Okay, that's feeling really, really hot now, but it's bearable and it's holding the temperature. Up to the orbital rim, making sure that I keep as much contact with the skin as possible. Backwards and forwards sweeping motion. This really is covering the entire cheek up and down in 3 sweeps. 1, mid cheek, 2, lower cheek, and we're done on that side. Okay, next side. Now, a really common question that I get asked quite a lot is it safe to have Botox and fillers and use radiofrequency treatments at the same time? Ideally, you want to do your radiofrequency treatment first before going to have your Botox or fillers done. After you've had Botox or filler placed, you want to give, really ideally, a good 7 to 14 days for the Botox to take effect within the muscles, and once the Botox has actually got to work, the heat from the radiofrequency isn't going to break it down any faster. The body is going to metabolize it itself. The heat from this device isn't penetrating into the muscles. The heat from most radiofrequency devices isn't penetrating into the muscles or toward the bone. So any filler or Botox placed in those areas is going to be safe. But yeah, you definitely don't want to be using a device like this within the first 24 to 48 hours of having your Botox placed. Not because of the heat, but because what you could do is the pressure of this device on the skin could cause the toxin to migrate into an unwanted area, which could cause like a drooping eyelid or a dropped lip or anything like that. This feels so good. Upper lip area and the nasolabials. Focus my attention on my nasolabials. Corners of the mouth, just for the marionette lines, the downturn lip corners. And then we're just doing the jawline. Focusing on the pre-gel area for some additional tightening here. So I've applied some gel to the tips. I'm just going to do my upper eyelid area by doing the trick where I elevate the brow with my fingers and treat on the upper orbital rim bone. Just to help tighten that skin a little bit more. Now this is off-label, I guess, the use for this. So let's start this side here. And then I'm literally just on the bone, facing upwards, and I'm running it backwards and forwards. And that is why I do my upper eye area like that. Just in that minute on each side and the opening that you get. Perfection. I'm just going to do the sides of the necks quickly. I put gel on the device tip and then we're just going up and down, remembering to stay away from the center of the neck. Bit more gel, other side. And then just the last part, just under the chin and the jawline. Okay, and we're pretty much done. So with the remaining gel that I've got on my neck, just going to rub that in. The gel on my face has already soaked in beautifully, like literally. It leaves your skin feeling so nourished and hydrated. Now, as someone who's deeply invested in skincare and beauty tech, I found the Nebulyft R1 not only to be a super easy to integrate into my skincare routine, but also a device that actually delivers real visible results. And I'm actually really pleasantly surprised at just how well this one works. I've been using this for a couple of weeks now and my skin definitely feels firmer to touch, and those pesky damn fine lines around my eyes that keep coming at me with a vengeance have definitely softened over the cheek area since I've started using this. Now I feel like the large surface area on this is one of the main selling points for this device, and the fact that it takes literally 10 minutes to do a full face treatment, that the inbuilt sensors detect when you've reached that optimum temperature and then manage and maintain it, and the egg shape of the 256 gold nebula points is actually a super clever design, and it makes it so easy to navigate all of the contours of the face and get up into those little hard to reach areas. But the thing that I feel like I appreciate the most out of this device is its user-friendly design. Everything that's included with it, and of course, most importantly, the inbuilt technology. From the precise temperature control to the intuitive LED indicators. It's so easy to see that a lot of thought has gone into the overall design of this device to make sure that the user gets to enjoy a super seamless experience. Plus, knowing that it's FDA approved and designed to be safe for at-home use gives me that added peace of mind that I'm always looking for, no matter the device or treatment that I'm doing. But I guess the main question is this as good as the other radio frequency devices I have, and is it worth the price point? For me personally, I would say that this is definitely equal to the other devices that I have, maybe even a little bit superior to them. And while the price point is a little bit more than the kind of devices that I would normally purchase, when you think about the regularity of having to go for an in-clinic treatment, how much each of those course of treatments costs, and the ability to be able to use this every day if you wanted to. It's been designed to be able to be used every day safely. I mean, it's literally going to pay for itself within the first month. And I just feel like the results you get from this, and knowing that the inbuilt safety features are going to prevent you from burning your skin or causing any unwanted damage or experiencing any discomfort or irritation, is definitely what I'm looking for. But yeah, all in all, I feel like the Nebulyft R1 is an absolutely amazing addition to my skincare toolkit. I really do believe it's going to help me maximize my results and take things up a whole other level. Obviously, Obviously, consistency is key with everything. I am super consistent with my devices, which is how I've managed to kind of transform my skin over the last 3 years. And really, at the end of the day, if you're not consistent with your devices, you can have the most expensive, powerful device in the world to use at home. But if you're only using it once every 6 months and then wondering why you're not getting results, it's because your face is the door and consistency is key. Haha, a pun. But yeah, if you've got any questions about the Nebulyft R1, about radiofrequency as a treatment and how I fit it into my routine, or really any of the other devices or treatments that I do on my channel, the comment section is now open, so feel free to ask away. Of course, if you give the video a like, then I'm going to give you my heart. And if you haven't subscribed already, be sure to do so now. Then that way, you're going to be first to know whenever I upload a new video, when I do a giveaway, or when I'm just on here rambling and talking way too much. Because I miss you. I hope you have a day that is as amazing as you are, and that the rest of your week is pure perfection. And I really look forward to seeing you in my next video. So, till then, TJ, over and out.